You're listening to an IWP podcast with Irish wrestling legend Paul Tracey. So, kind of give us a little introduction to yourself to the people that might not know you.
So basically my name is Paul Tracey. I began wrestling in August 2000, made my debut in 2001, and I suppose I've just been going ever since really. So I've been around wrestling for just over 17 years at this point.
Oh, gee, been around the block, so they say.
Too many times.
So I heard you trained in England.
Yeah, I began in England. Yeah, there was no training skills in Ireland at the time, so I started in NWA UK Hammerlock, and we were based in Kent at the time. So we just started going over there. Those week-long camps and weekend camps, and that's how we started basically.
Nice stuff. Who were your major influences growing up before coming on to becoming a wrestler?
I suppose growing up, like a lot of Irish kids, I watched wrestling at the time. My earliest memories are watching the ITV stuff, like the World of Sport stuff, and then onto WWF stuff at the time. I was obviously, like everybody else at the time, a Hulk Hogan fan, but I liked the characters like Jake Roberts and the Honky Tonk Man and Rick Rude and people like that, so they were big influences for me.
Oh, so you were saying you're training in the UK. Obviously, I was actually going to ask you why you choose the UK, because obviously you answered that now with no training schools in Ireland.
Yeah, there was nothing here at the time. I grew up obviously watching it, loving it, and hoping one day to do it. And it was Fargo spotted an ad in Power Slam magazine at the time for a week-long training camp at NWA UK in Kent. So that's where we started.
Nice stuff. What inspired the Lord of the Manor character? I've always been fascinated with this character.
It wasn't my idea, believe it or not. Whose idea it was would be a toss-up between Jamie Coleman, who plays William Humperdinck, and Peter Farrell, who plays Justin Shape. So between the two of them, I'm not sure who it was, if it was one or both, but between the two of them, it was their inspiration. So I just got asked to play it on an AWR tour, and it was something that I was comfortable with, something I loved, and something I was happy to develop, and it was just effortless for me to play it. So that's where it started. So believe it or not, it wasn't actually my thing. It wasn't my idea. It was my creation.
Kind of sounds like a Justin Shape thing.
It could well have been. So between him and Jamie, I'm not sure which one. I'd still argue to this day over whose idea it was. It wasn't mine.
Yeah. Is wrestling your full-time job?
No, I'm a youth worker by day. I'm a wrestler by the weekend. So I have a job that I love in youth work. I've been in that field of work now for a very long time. My current job for nearly 13 years. So it's something that I do. I'm off weekends, so that frees me up to do the rest of the weekends. And if something else comes up, and I'm normally able to get time off to do bits and pieces. So I'm a lucky boy. I have the best of both worlds.
That's good. Good stuff. What got you into wrestling? Obviously, I presume Hulk Hogan, kind of those type of people.
Just watching it and being fascinated by it, and fascinated by the characters and the moves and the charisma and the athleticism and the showbiz part of it. So it all just came together. It was just something that I was kind of obsessed by. There was a lot of kids growing up that watched wrestling and liked wrestling, but I'm not sure how many thought they would at some stage get to do it. So it was just something that stuck with me, and something that I'm happy that I've been involved in for so long.
So where's your favorite place to work as a wrestler so far?
There's so many. Here in Ireland, just because it's home, I'll always have fondness for England, because that's where I first started doing shows and tours with Hammerlock. I lived in Southern California for a few months. There's a huge Mexican influence there, so that was cool, because they go crazy towards the heel if the heel did something wrong, and Spain was a bit like that as well. Japan, obviously, because the fans are so into it and so into the technical side of it. So there's so many. I can't single out one place, but just a lot of places that I've enjoyed going over the years.
And actually, one question I've always wanted to ask you: how many countries have you been in?
So far, 16.
Gee, that's really quite impressive.
16, yeah, so it's been really good to me. It's taken me to places that I would probably never have got to have been otherwise. So I'll always, I never made the big time or never made millions out of it, but it's definitely been really good to me, because it's taken me to these places, and I've met a lot of really good people along the way. So
yeah, what's Japan? I'm sorry for interrupting. What's Japan like?
Japan is great. The culture is great. The people are amazing. It's one of the safest places, even though Tokyo is whatever, it has 12 million people. You'd never feel in danger or threatened or anything like that. I think I saw a policeman once when there was a car crash. It's just a really safe place and a good place to be, and a really good standard of life. And the people are so good.
Oh, good. What promotions did you work for? Because obviously I only really know New Japan and one or two
Yeah,
others.
I did an expo show there a long time ago, 2007 or 2008. I worked for Smash, which Tajiri owned,
Oh,
and I've worked for Zero One as well. And next month I am in Land's End
oh,
Pro Wrestling, which is a new enough promotion, and that's in Osaka next month.
oh, nice stuff. You're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back. I haven't been there in like 5 years, I don't think so. It's going to be good to go back. So I have some friends over there as well. So I organised for a few extra days as well to just hang out and see people. So it should be fun.
Nice stuff. Oh no, I've heard good things about Japan. Actually a place I've always loved to visit myself.
Yeah, it's worth going to. It's an expensive country, but it's a great country.
So obviously you've been in the business for 17 years, but do you have any dream matches? Like, would you have any dream matches now up to this point, or have you had it?
Probably not. I probably did when I started, but now you just learn to take it as it comes when you're around it for this length of time, you know. So not really at the moment.
Yeah.
Just take every day as it comes, and you don't know what's going to happen next, or who you're going to meet, or what's going to come around. I've been lucky enough to wrestle some great people, both famous people that people that know, and people that maybe people wouldn't have known, you know. So, like, I mean, it's been good. A dream match is probably not at this point.
Okay. So obviously yourself and Fergal Devitt obviously got together with NWA Ireland.
Yeah.
How did that all get started?
Basically, because there was nothing here, so we were going back and forward to England. We were learning the basics over there, and we knew there was nothing here, so we decided it was probably a good idea to set up our own. I don't know how good an idea it was, because I think we were 20 and 21 years of age, decided we were going to open our own training school and run some shows. We were probably too young to be doing what we were doing, but in our heads at the time it was a good idea because there was nothing here. There was no outlet for young people over here that were looking to start wrestling to wrestle. So that's what we did. We set up a training school in our own town, and we just went from there, really.
Yeah, you're based in Wicklow, wasn't it, at the time?
Based in Bray, the two
Yeah.
of us are from Bray. So we started off, our first base was just in a school at the weekends. We just rented a spot on a Sunday, and then we moved out of school to another school, and then eventually we got our own premises. And then in 2002, we took the NWA brand. I think we started in maybe early 2002, and by the end of 2002 we took the NWA brand. So it was an extension of NWA UK Hammerlock in England, which was our home promotion, if you like, and we just called it NWA Ireland.
Nice. Obviously you've had a bit of a feud with IWW. How did that kind of, obviously just a bit of a, it's a thing
Just
for
kids being kids at the time, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just competing for what we thought was superiority. Probably would have been better off working together. The scene would have been better, but at the time everyone was loyal to their own brand, and it was a bit of a feud at the time. You know, looking back, it was probably silly, some of the stuff that went on, but it happened. We can't change it.
Were you surprised actually Fergal came to OTT last year? Obviously for a surprise visit.
Well, I obviously knew about it, but I think it was a great thing for the fans. It was a great piece of PR for OTT. It was something that he wanted to do as well. So it was great for all parties concerned. It was great for him to come home as well and get that reception.
Yeah, I was actually at the show, and we were all like, we were wondering what the countdown was, and when his music came out, I went, oh shit, I goes.
Yeah, he was obviously injured at the time as well. So
yeah, which was
it was nice for him to come home and get that reception. I think it worked out great for all parties. You know,
Oh.
for him to come home and get that reception and to talk to the fans, and for OTT as well. It was a nice piece of publicity. So
Oh, it
I
was
think it's good for all
definitely,
parties concerned.
definitely, yeah, because obviously WWE got to do their network thing. Obviously, it got to show OTT for about a couple of minutes, which was excellent.
Yeah, great publicity for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it worked out well for everyone.
I have a question from Reddit. Do you have any tips for someone breaking into the wrestling scene here in Ireland?
Do I have any tips? I suppose it'd be the same as I always say. Just find a decent training school, a decent trainer. Put your head down. Don't believe any hype around you. Just listen. Soak in as much information as you can, and just learn. It's you know, there's a lot of criticism out there that it's almost sometimes now too easy for wrestlers to break in, and you know, wrestlers who are training for a couple of months almost expect a spot on a show, and it doesn't work like that. It takes a lot longer to learn the basics and learn how to work and learn how to wrestle. So just put your head down. If you find a coach that you trust and believe in, that you're going to work hard for, he should be able to know when you're ready to, you know, be elevated to show level, and that's it, right? But just work hard and listen.
Yeah, good stuff. What do you think of the success of your best mate Finn Balor or Fergal Devitt?
amazing. I think anybody that knew Fergal as a kid, he was one of the most athletic kids you could ever have known. I think it was only a matter of time before he met the right person to take him to the next level. I mean, obviously we were tagging together for 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, but anybody that knew he was special. And luckily he did meet there. He went to the Inoki dojo to train for a couple of months, and he met Dave Marquez, who was running that. He met Simon Inoki, who invited him to Japan, and that was the platform he needed. But it's been brilliant. I'm not surprised at all. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Oh, no argument there, definitely. You know, it's great for someone like for a country like Ireland to have so many good guys coming through. Obviously, you have Becky now in WWE. You have obviously Sheamus too. Yeah. Obviously, Fergal now, and then you have Jordan Devlin now, and a couple of guys from your training camp. Obviously, Scott. Yeah. So it's excellent, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we're doing really well for a small country.
The sky is the limit now, really, for all the Irish boys and girls now.
Yeah, we're definitely holding our own.
Definitely. So you're a trainer as well, aren't you?
On and off. I haven't been doing a lot lately. Obviously, I worked with Jordan last year, just getting him ready for the try and stuff like that. But on and off. I'm not committed anywhere at the moment. I will be at some point. I'm sure I'll set up my own thing again, but not. There's no way you can find me every week or anything at the moment. I just go and do bits and pieces at the moment.
Yeah. Speaking of Tracey, Jordan Devlin. What do you think of his success so far? Obviously, with the UK tournament just gone by.
Great. He's had a really good year. Obviously, I know him really well. I've been working with him since he was 12 years old. So he's, what is he now, 27 or 28? So, I mean, he's earned everything. He's had nothing handed to him. He was in Japan at the age of 21. He's had a great year. WWE stuff went great. So, I don't know. Hopefully it keeps going well for him. But it seems to be so far so good. And, yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he's done well. Obviously, he joined yourself last year with the Social Elite now, so I think that kind of got him. So obviously, he was a babyface at the time, so I think the heel it worked for him really well. I thought personally. Yeah,
he's a very interesting year, both home and abroad. Social, we haven't been doing much Social Elite lately. We will, I'm sure, in time. But no, it's just he's had a really good year. He's at the moment OTT now. He's top of the card, so good for him.
So yeah, obviously you're a veteran now of the Irish scene. So what do you think of the Irish wrestling scene now compared to when you came?
There's a lot of hungry young talent out there. I think there's still a lot of work to be done. I think there's a couple of names I see there that I think could be really special, but I think it'll take time. We should have more talent at the top level than we do at the moment. I think it'll, in a couple of years, hopefully that'll change. We'll have a lot more standouts, and hopefully not that we're in a bad place, but I think we'll be in a lot better place in a couple of years when these guys come and sure get some more ring time and some more experience.
Actually, one person that stands out from, well, there's two, Conor Andrews and Sky Davis. I think those two lads, they had I think they had a match in February of this year at the Tivoli. Wow. Wow.
That's right. I think we ruined it, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we actually talked to Scotty 2 weeks ago. And I said, the Social League came out and ruined the match.
Yeah, we ruined it.
Oh, well, it made sense for you to do it.
Yeah, we got huge heat for that, but it was, it was good. No, they're two great guys. Unbelievable guys. I think David's only 16, and I think Andrew's only 18, I think, so they're so, I was out in the main stage watching them train the other night. They were, after training, they were in the ring doing bits and pieces. They're so into it and so much passion for it. So I think David's got his footwork for somebody his age. He's a huge amateur wrestler. His footwork and his movements for his age are unbelievable. And Andrew as well, some of the stuff he can do. I was watching him jump off top ropes the other night. Some of the stuff he can hit is unreal. So I think the two of them have really bright futures.
Yeah, I think Scott, he talked about the amateur wrestling. That's actually quite actually interesting. Obviously, I've not really heard many Irish people doing amateur wrestling. So good stuff. Really good to hear.
Yeah, no, he's a phenomenal talent. I think he could be really good. And he's so young as well. He hasn't even done his leaving cert. I think he's doing his leaving cert this year.
Christ, he's only 18. He looks about 25.
He isn't even 18. He's 16.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, the two guys are definitely two to watch for the future. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, definitely.
As I say, they're training hard. Joe's out there coaching. He's doing some great work with them as well. So, no, they could be really good.
What do you think of Angel Cruz? Actually,
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. An amazing talker, amazing character. He's so much going for him. I hope he gets the breaks he deserves. I hope he gets the work he deserves home and abroad, because I think he's an amazing talent.
He's very. I think he's what Scotty said. He was very underrated, and I think the sky's the limit for him because his character is hilarious.
Such a natural talker as well, and some of the promos, some of the videos he does as well are brilliant.
They are definitely.
Yeah, he's really, and plus he's just a good guy.
He's a really good guy. He definitely.
Yeah.
So, what is it like wrestling in the National Arena compared to the Tivoli? Because obviously you had the match with Jimmy Havoc, and Urine Simmons as well.
Yeah, what's it? National Stadium. It's more of a big show feel, obviously, with the pyro there, and just you look back and there's people as far as you can see. It's just a big show feel, and I think it's something that Irish independent wrestling has needed for a long time, and hopefully I think it will continue on for a long time. And I suppose hats off to Joe as well, because when he came back from America, he put his heart and soul into building something, and he has built something really special. So I think it'll continue for a long time. I think it's fantastic for Irish wrestling. The main difference, the Tivoli is smaller. I think the fans are closer to the ring in the Tivoli, so maybe it's a little bit more passionate and full of hustle and bustle at times in the Tivoli. But I think that the National Stadium's a little bit better because everybody's a seat. There's a lot of restricted views. Maybe in the Tivoli, people are standing. It's hard to see sometimes. So maybe the stadium's a little bit better in that sense.
So what do you actually think of the OTT fans?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant and fun to work for. To work in front of. There's been times when I'd be in the ring, I'm trying to stop myself from laughing at some of the things that they're chanting and coming out with. So
yeah, I actually have examples here. They have Giant Baby, and obviously the famous one, Tracey is a wanker.
Yeah, lovely.
I know, it's hard.
No, but it's brilliant, and it's fun, and they enjoy the shows, and we enjoy wrestling in front of the OTT crowd. And at the end of the day, pro wrestling without fans is nothing. And they, we can't go in there and have shows in front of nobody. And the atmosphere that they create is OTT, really. Because without that, we're nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, actually, the first time I actually saw you was last year. I think you were facing Ken Anderson, of all people.
Oh, yeah.
No, because I've gone to AEW, I've done Irish Whip Wrestling, I've done other Irish shows, but I've never actually got to see you. So people always say, have you seen Paul Tracey? I said, no, I haven't. Many times I've been to shows, I've never seen you. And this is the first time against Ken Anderson. I said, everyone that told me about you was absolutely true. You're the perfect heel.
It's a fun character, and I think as you get older, you just realise that wrestling's what you make it, and it should be fun, and it's there to be enjoyed, not just by us performing, but for the people that you're performing for as well. So, it's fun. I try and have fun now everywhere I go. Just enjoy it, and no pressure. And I think that brings the best out of people as well. If you're going out there and you're not feeling huge pressure as well, I think you enjoy it more.
Definitely. So how did it feel facing Jimmy Havoc in a hardcore match at WrestleRama? Because obviously it was a bit. Well, I wouldn't say brutal, but there was a few kind of spots that were a bit like, ooh.
Jimmy's actually a really good friend of mine. He started out at NWA UK as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So myself and Jim have known each other for a long time. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we wrestled. I think we have wrestled a couple of times before. Maybe never hardcore. But no, Jimmy's a good guy, and we had a lot of fun. I just had to make sure that it wasn't me getting thrown into those thumbtacks.
Oh yeah, that was a bad. I was like, ooh. Even though you've seen the thumbtack spots so many times.
Yeah, no, it was fun, and it was whatever it was, 10 or 12 minutes, but we just tried to put something together that was fun, that people enjoyed.
Yeah. So obviously, who's your best friend in wrestling? Obviously, we kind of easy answer there, I suppose.
Yeah, but obviously there's an easy answer there with Fergal. But there's a lot of people that I've grown up with. People I started with in Hammerlock we're still very close. We still, the likes of John Ryan in England, the likes of Jimmy, the likes of Zach. People like that I started out with, and there's still a very strong bond between us. Obviously, been involved in Irish wrestling for a long time, so a lot of the guys that would have started out with me at NWA Ireland and stuff like that, we're still very close as well. So. People I met along the way as well that weren't NWA Ireland, the likes of Joe Cabray, obviously from OTT, Jamie Coleman, people like that. So we've a great scene here, and there's a lot of people that have been around this scene for a long time, so that have a lot of advice to pass on to people coming in as well. So I mean, I have a lot of friends. Obviously, Fergal, obviously we're still in touch, and we're still close and all the rest, but a lot of people along the way.
Good stuff. Last question I have for you, actually. Has the Social Elite finished, or will we see more of him?
Yeah, I think you'll see more somewhere down the line. Maybe not in the immediate future. But you never say never. I think we did a few bits. I think we could do an awful lot more damage somewhere down the line. So I don't think it'll be this side of Christmas. Maybe soon, maybe in a few months, maybe never. But I definitely wouldn't close the door on the idea. I think the concept was pretty good.
Oh, good stuff. Do you want to plug anything before you go?
No, I'm not wrestling. Well, I'm not wrestling tomorrow, but anybody's around to try and get to Contenders at OTT in Dublin. There, as I said, already there's some great talent coming through, and they deserve a bit of support. I'm going to try and get in myself and have a look. And the next OTT is the Tivoli on October the 7th. And I suppose just anybody who's listening in Ireland, just support Irish wrestling. There's a lot of shows going on that sometimes go under the radar. And there's a lot of good talent out there that are looking for support and exposure. So I think we're in a good period for Irish wrestling. So let's build on it. Let's keep it going.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming on today, Paul.
Look after yourself.
You too, man. Thank you. Bye-bye. And yes, that was none other than the Lord of the Manor, Paul Tracey, here on IWP Podcast. Thank you very much for his time. Absolutely stellar interview there, I must say, going through many parts of his career and all that. So thank you again, Paul. And obviously don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Indie Wrestling Pod, on YouTube at youtube.com/Indie Wrestling Pod as well. Comment, like, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. Also on Twitter at twitter.com, on Twitter the hashtag, or at indie_pod I should say. And yes, so that's the end of our interviews for a little while. We've decided just to finish up for a little while. Obviously no better way to finish with one of the ones of Irish wrestling, that is Paul Tracey. So yes, we'll be back in maybe a couple of months, maybe a couple of weeks, couple of months, we'll see. But there'll be plenty of stuff on the channel, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. So take it easy.